Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. This is our end of season review. Um, I want to say congratulations, but I also feel like I'm gloating too much if I say
You can
congratulations. But
congratulate yourself.
congratulations to me, and congratulations to everybody else who did well. We always say it takes skill to do well in the regular season, but it takes luck to do well in the playoffs. I did try, but I also got very lucky, I would say. But
Yes, I'm the
everybody
best at
else.
having luck. No
Hmm.
one's lucky as I am.
Yes, no one is as lucky as me. I'm so good at luck. It is my greatest skill in life. But yeah, great season. Everybody, it was really, really fun to have just this active league. Which of course I would like to say, in all my tenure of being playing fantasy football, I've never had such an active league, which is true, but I've also only been playing for like 2 years now. So but yeah, it was a very active league, which is just very rare to find, I think. So that was good. Like for the most part, everybody was at least a little active. Everybody that didn't have certain life things going on, or there were some people that just didn't want to participate, but we'll get I think we're getting one new member for next year, which is really good. That means that everybody else was participating pretty actively and we don't need to replace anyone else. So that's, I mean, for a new league starting off that active, that's impressive. That's amazing. And that's just what we want to do. We want to have a really active, good league that people can like really just enjoy it. Like it shouldn't feel like, oh, there's this player that I just can't trade for this player because I mean, like for me, like I love Puka, right? He's my favorite player.
You
I'm
like
not
Puka?
parting.
I
Yeah, I
had
know.
no idea.
Yeah, I'm not gonna part ways with him. But otherwise, it's like there are sometimes in leagues where it's like I want to try to be able to trade for this player, and I can't because this manager just doesn't play. They're just not here, and so there are certain trades or certain things that you're not able to do when there are people that aren't active, and that's just kind of sad. And this year, I would say for the most part, you didn't have to deal with that. There were definitely certain people, I will say, that were not as active as others, but still, they were, for the most part, it was a very active league. And I love that. I'm very glad that we could have something like that.
Don't
Anything
worry,
to add?
Robbie. We're gonna weed him out.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him.
We're going to get them. Gonna make it so that we only have the good grain and no chaff.
This
Blow,
is scripture,
blow the chaff
people.
to the wind.
We're gonna we're gonna cast you to the rocks, and you're gonna be lost forever.
Only Abel is allowed here. Cain, we
Get
don't have
out.
Cain. We
No.
gotta give him the mark of Cain. Get him out of here because this is the brothers keeper league. So my brother's keepers league. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, Robbie, congratulations. You deserve the win. Look, folks, sometimes when a rookie enters the league, they do immediately well right out of the gate because they're going to be one of the all time greats. And I think that's what we have to accept about Tom Bombadil, Robbie, our commissioner. Um, in my 8 years of playing fantasy football very intensely, I have three first place trophies. I treasure them all very much. This year, I did win a dynasty league, which was very cool. That was something to celebrate, and I paid a lot of attention to that to distract me from how much I hate myself in my other leagues. Robbie already has two good, solid first place trophies to put on his mantle in his second year. So I think this is a lesson that we need to stop making trades with him, try to sabotage him specifically in the draft next year, and just maybe someone can try to break his kneecaps. Maybe that'll make him pay less attention. No, it make him pay more attention to fantasy because he can't run.
it would be.
Yeah, well done, Robbie. Seriously, you did a fantastic job this year. You earned the win.
Thank you. I am very happy to have won. I did not think I was going to win. I thought might do well in playoffs, but I was just looking at Brian's team on the other side. Week one, he's got 200 points. Week two, he's got 170 points. I'm like, I'm done. And then like I think one of my players played earlier in the week, and they were not very good. And I was like, I'm so done. Like Jahmyr Gibbs played on Thursday night and he got like
Mm-hmm.
5 point. I'm like, oh, well, it's over. It's over. And then Derrick Henry drops 45 points on his head. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I have a chance. And then the rest of my team was doing bad. And it was like just this roller coaster. But I was able to pull it out. I don't know if I really deserved it because, like I said, that other team I think just had a bad week. But that's the whole thing is that it takes luck to win in playoffs, and it's like you could have had the best team all year, like Waddle World. That was probably the best team all year. Either that or like Ian's team with what was it name? What's his name again?
Sam
Bill
and
and is
Bill.
it Sam and Bill? Yeah, Sam and Bill. Like amazing team. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Josh Allen, Bijan Robinson, absolutely crazy. All of these players that probably deserve like MVPs and Offensive Player of the Year awards, and it's like he just in the playoffs, I was able to beat him because he had a down week with those players. But like if Josh Allen dropped 50 points, I would have been toast. I would have been cooked there. I couldn't have done anything against that. Um, I was just lucky that he didn't have a good week that week, and that was like I would say my team did good that week. It was a good team. It's just like there were definitely better teams in playoffs at that round, and I think I got lucky with some of those. Like I got lucky that no one in playoffs, the person I played in the first round, didn't have Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts had the best tight end game in fantasy history in round one, and luckily the person with Kyle Pitts didn't make playoffs. Oh, that would have been scary. But like it's just lucky. I'm glad that I won, but like I have to say, like there were definitely teams that were better than mine this year because it's not like the best team always wins. That's kind of what happens, and I'm very lucky to have won. And I felt like there was a large part of me that was like, oh, I won because I'm so good and so active, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
that's partially true. I was able to get to playoffs, dragging my team to playoffs when it was felt more like a bad team, honestly, for a good part of the year because it was just injured with like even just like 3 weeks with Puka not there was rough. That was hard. I lost like every matchup, every median, and it was like I basically needed from that point to win every one of my games, and I was able to do it. And that was good. That was good managing on my part. But then the playoffs was just more like I did my best, but there were a lot of things that could have gone wrong for me that didn't. And so I'm just really happy with that. But yeah, really great year, really good. I'm happy with that.
So, just so everyone's clear, Robbie is letting us all know he did not deserve the win, does not deserve the first place trophy. It is
I did not.
it's a con.
Yep, I did. I conned you all. I invited you all here, and I knew who was going to be the winner from the beginning. I ranked my team first on the first show because I rigged my team.
That's
So
right.
there
It's
you have
rigged.
it.
All right, let's dive into this, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. We are going to go backwards to first and talk about all the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with number 10, very last place is Gabe, Pro Laser Tagger. Um, I had a live conversation with Gabe, just so everyone's aware. He hadn't been as active this year. Just had a little talk, and he was very quick to say, "Hey, absolutely, give my spot to someone else going forward." And it is all good, all friendly. He's a good friend of mine. Someone's inheriting some nice keepers from him, but
Mm-hmm.
he came in last place. Let me pull
Yeah.
up. I don't. I'm gonna have to just pull up his live roster here.
All right.
But while I'm pulling it up, if you would like to share any thoughts, please go ahead.
Yeah, so it was interesting because we ranked this team pretty well at the beginning of the season, and I think it's just like, it's you need players that are good to do well, but you also just really need to manage. That's kind of the bit of it. Like you have to be an active manager. My team didn't start out fantastic. This team, I think it had potential to be really good, but also, I mean, not to say that it was all due to managing, right? Like if you look at this team, Lamar Jackson should have been really good this year. He
Bad
was
year.
not. Bad year because of injury for the most part. And then when he was there, then he was playing pretty obviously injured. Quinshon Judkins had a weird start to the year. Then he was really good. Then he kind of just fell off. Like in the future, probably a good player. Kenneth Walker should have been good. He's very talented, but then the Seahawks are just always like, you know what? We're just gonna use this guy just ripped a 50-yard run for us, but we're gonna use Zach Charbonnet for the touchdown. So then he gets like 10 points on weeks that he should have done better. It's just kind of like, I will say that, like I say, it was probably mostly a managing thing, but also like Brock Bowers. That's another example. Brock Bowers, he was fantastic last year. I can attest to that. I was really good with Brock Bowers, and then I traded him to Luke, and Luke was really good with Brock Bowers, and it's just like he was great. And this year, he did have that one like 37 point game. And I looked it up and I was like, wow, this like Travis Kelsey has never dropped this many fantasy points in one game before. That's like a crazy stat. But I mean, of course, then there was the Kyle Pitts game, which we'll probably talk about in a bit. But like that was really impressive from Brock Bowers. You can still see he's a great player, but it's like he was just wasn't there. Colston Loveland, that's an interesting case. He was really picked up at the end of the year. He had some randomly incredible games here or there. And I'm sure he'll be a very, very good player for the Bears going forward, but kind of an erratic fantasy player where he's not going to get anything or he'll get tons of stuff because the Bears are kind of like the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase was the one I would say very bright spot on this team where it's just like
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
really
good.
good. He was like, despite having no Joe Burrow for the vast majority of the year, the Jake Browning days were bad, but then the second they got Joe Flacco in there, I remember there was a game where I think he got like 30 targets. That was insane.
That was a good time.
No, absolutely insane. Good game from Jamar Chase. And Jamar Chase will always be good. That's kind of just the thing is like,
Yeah, 23
as long as he's
targets
got,
against Pittsburgh.
yeah, that was crazy. I just remember seeing that Mike Tomlin was so angry at the Browns for trading the Bengals Joe Flacco because he was like, you can't trade a quarterback that you at the beginning of the season considered like a starter level quarterback. Can't do
Mm-hmm.
that. And then they lost. And he proved why that was like they should have won that game because the Bengals were awful without Joe Burrow. And it's like, nope. But yeah, just overall, this team, it could have been good. It wasn't overly well managed, but it was what it was. Um, I would like to say he did his best, but he really didn't. But it is what it is. I think that this will be a very interesting team to inherit. For I think John said he has a friend that really wants to join, and I told him to invite him, and he said he would. So we'll see when that happens. Obviously, it doesn't have to happen soon, but
Yeah,
anyway, that
we got a
was
year.
yeah. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't put so much on the managing because we have a lot of players in our other Bible Boys league where they'll just not make a single transaction all year, and if they have a good starting roster that doesn't get injured, they do great. Like that happens
Mhm.
all the time. I kind of blame it on bad years for the players that he really needed to count on, uh, and also just a lack of good tertiary pieces. Like Jamar Chase was fine, good, good. That's a good piece, but Lamar Jackson had a major bust of a year, super bad, all throughout. Just not. Oh come on, he was so up and down. Not a good year. He had like a few flash games, but he kept losing games because he kept starting him.
Mhm.
Judkins had a good spike, and then he fell. You're right. Brock Bowers, not there for you. Colston Loveland, not the replacement level of Brock Bowers. Not yet. He was very up and down throughout the second half of the year, despite
Mhm.
all the talk of how good he was, like 5 points, four
Yeah.
points, 7 points. I don't know. Like Cooper Cup is the wide receiver one right now in his roster. Like this was
Definitely.
not. Yeah, it just you need a lot of players to start on this roster, and it wasn't that many. And I feel like he could have placed a little higher, but he didn't. And
Mhm.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's that. Thank you and goodbye, Pro Laser Tagger. Let's keep 'em moving. Sorry, I gotta share. I gotta do it correctly. Number 9, Gimli's Giblets. Isaac. Uh, Funny. That looks like Robbie's team.
Yeah, it does, except for Joe Burrow. It
who
does
who
remind
you
me.
who you used in the other league to defeat me.
Yep. Oh boy.
All right.
Um, yeah, you go
Here
first with this one.
Okay. No, you go first actually, because I want to find his original roster. I'm gonna pull up in a different tab
Okay,
the draft, but please go ahead.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you think?
I will say that, this is kind of the opposite of Pro Laser Tagger, where it was like both teams kind of had like a very sorry start to the year. I think that if Isaac stuck with some of his guys and didn't trade them away, then it would have been slightly better. Like Derrick Henry and Puka, if he stuck with those guys, maybe it would have been a little bit better. But like, no, this team wasn't going anywhere, unfortunately, just because it was like James Conner went out early year. Yeah, let's see the
Okay,
draft here.
I just wanted to
Where
look at
was
the
he?
draft real quick. So he was over here. He got
Derrick
Derrick
Henry.
Henry and Puka,
So
which would have been
three
freaking
picks.
great.
Yeah, definitely great in like playoffs for sure, as I can attest to. But Terry McLaurin, big bust. James
Yeah,
Conner, injured.
injured,
George Pickens was a great pick.
good.
Um,
Hawkinson was not
see,
good this
nope,
year.
nope, not good. I don't even
No.
know anything that happened with him. Tyrone Tracy,
Just look at that. He never got
mm-mm,
above 10 points all year. It's really bad.
that's crazy. Oh, that's insane. Tyrone Tracy, not good. Zach Charbonnet, kind of okay, but like not someone you want to start every week. David Njoku, not good. Marvin Mims, not good. Luther Burden had some random good games, but definitely an easy drop candidate. Ollie Gordon, not good because Devon Achane never got injured. It was like he was kind of dependent on these like handcuff running backs that he thought were like, okay, these are going to be the guys for the guys that get injured, and they just didn't. And that's not something you want to have to rely on. So basically, his first two picks were good, which he didn't stick with those picks. I got both of those picks pretty early through the year. So it was basically just like Joe Burrow would have been a great pick because he was good when he came back, but he got injured for the vast majority of the year. He couldn't win you any games. Dak Prescott was a really good waiver wire pickup because he was a great Joe Burrow replacement, but like he didn't draft that guy. I would just say like Isaac did really good this year, considering the situation that he's in. I think that he could have done slightly better if he wanted to place higher, but he saw that his cause was lost a lot earlier than a lot of other managers would. And he gave up on it and he was like, I'm going to try to build up for next year. And so everything that he did was, I'm going to try to trade for picks. He was the biggest trader in our league. He
Hmm.
got, with this, let's see, you see the Derrick Henry trade. I definitely think I won that. If he
I
stuck
think
with
this
some of those
was,
players like Chase Brown longer,
yes, Chase Brown
well,
would have made it kind of
sorry.
worth it maybe. But I was just going to say, this was kind of season
Uh-huh.
defining right here. And
Yeah,
I mean, when was September 23rd? This was early. Like,
yeah, this was very early.
this was a massive identity shifting trade where he
Uh-huh.
gave up Henry to try to get a whole bunch of pieces. And unfortunately, if he kept Chase Brown, it would have worked out a little better. But
Uh-huh.
this felt like it kind of ruined the team for him.
Yeah, that definitely did. Then there was the Puka trade. I was able to dump
Yeah.
Brian Thomas on him before Brian Thomas really turned into a
Oof.
bust, which was, I think that was like my
It's.
biggest defining move for me personally. But
I'll
like,
say I'm
Puka was
surprised
great.
that you were able to see that coming. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he was bad already for the first couple, but it was kind of like, I don't know. And then Isaac was able to flip him for Roma Dunze, which was good for a while. And then Roma Dunze kind of pooped his pants. It was just like, I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, a lot of his trades were for picks, and he got those picks and he got keepers. And I think that all things considered, he'll be pretty solid next year. Let's see. I traded him. Well, you traded him Chase or for
Yeah.
traded him Jalen Warren for
That
Chase
was
Brown.
that was pretty lucky for me.
That was definitely a good
But
one for
getting
you.
neighbors for next year is super helpful because
Oh yeah.
like
Which is
he
what's
needed
the
some
only
top
thing
end
about that
players.
is that Waddle World dropped neighbors for a little bit. So you could have just there was a point in time you could have just picked him up
Right.
and it wouldn't have been because he forgot about the keeper aspect and then he got him back. So if Isaac could have just picked him up, that would have been amazing. But
And
still,
then this was the in family trading that some of
yes.
us didn't have access to, but he got Justin Jefferson, which feels like it was another like big trying to get a team defining trade, and Jefferson did nothing. Like there were so
Oh
many of
yeah.
these trades where you would think this would have really made a difference for
Except
Gimli's
for the
giblets,
Jalen Warren,
but it
DK
just
Metcalf.
didn't. Okay, that was just I want a pick. Give me a pick.
Yeah. He wanted it so bad. And Ian wasn't even like Ian was like, I don't know. But honestly, like let's be real here. DK Metcalf and Quentin Johnston did absolutely nothing for Ian. They're
No, they
not keeper
didn't.
players.
That was
So it
good.
was worth it. It was worth it for Isaac. It gave him depth that he didn't need
So
because those players didn't do anything.
So just coming into
This
next year, just so everyone knows, like his middle rounds, he's gonna have so many extra shots to take. Right here in the fifth, he'll get
Yep.
3 picks.
Mm-hmm. He will. So that's yeah, that'll be very interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, very very I would say in a way it was a good year. He redeemed it. He got his keeper players. It'll probably be a pretty threatening team next year, I would say.
Hmm.
Just I mean it just depends on the drafting. He'll get good keepers with Joe Burrow
Hmm.
and all these other guys. It was funny cuz there was one time recently Isaac told me that he had a dream where you told him that I wasn't going to let him keep Joe Burrow. And then he had a fight with me about wanting to keep Joe Burrow because he was so desperate to keep Joe Burrow. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you about this. You're not keeping Joe Burrow. Um, but yeah, I'll probably be keeping Joe Burrow. My guess is based on that dream. If I had to take a shot in the dark here, um, but
Yeah, that probably makes
yeah,
sense. And then keep Jefferson, Odunze, and Neighbors.
honestly,
That's probably what I would do.
if he needs an extra spot, maybe he should keep Ramondre Stevenson with the way that the stupid Patriots are using him. But
Oh,
yeah,
hush. You got your awesome run with
with
Henderson because he
Travion,
got
yeah,
injured.
true. But yeah, I think it should be good. It should be good next year. I think that he did the best he possibly could. Props to him for not being the ultimate loser when his team looked like the worst consistently all year. He was tanking and he was able to not get the poop crown with that. So yeah, it's just
Um, question, Commissioner, how would you like to handle the punishment? Is between Gabe, who is leaving the league, between Isaac, who got second to last, and whoever John's new friend is inheriting the losing team. I think there's an argument to be made for all three.
I say that Isaac should not because he was actually very active. I would say if we can give Gabe some sort of punishment that not like name my team for next year because you can't do that. But if he's willing to do something like that, which I he should be, but also he's leaving the league, and that's kind of the thing is it's like the if you're not willing to do the punishment, then you should get kicked, and he is leaving of his own volition. So I don't really know, but I think that considering that Isaac worked so hard to not get booted and get the last place punishment, I don't think he deserves that because he did try really hard and he wasn't last place. Now, if he was actually last place, then obviously you give it to him. But yeah, I think that he should not get that punishment for next year. I think that we give Gabe every option except for the name your team for next year thing. I forgot exactly what the options we set were at the beginning of the year, but as long as he's willing to do that, and I don't know if he is or not. I don't know him, but from what I hear, it sounds like he's a pretty good sport. So, um, yeah, I hope that he's willing to do that. But yeah, I don't think Isaac should get the reward, but punishment. But yeah,
Sounds like more nepotism to me, but yeah, I can see that. So what you're saying is the punishment is your team gets blown up, you are removed from the league. That is the punishment. And we can
kind of.
ask him if he will do a punishment. He might not. And honestly, if I
Yeah,
were leaving the league, I wouldn't really care. So,
yeah,
and whoever is inheriting this team will be inheriting our first failing franchise. They're going to
yeah.
have a losing record, and they have to
Hmm.
turn the ship around.
Yeah, and I think you can do that with the kind of keepers that you got on that team. Players that'll probably be a lot better next year should be able to turn it around. Now there were some picks that you got or like other people got with the draft that were kind of rough for him, but and for whoever is going to inherit that team. But yeah, it's kind of is what it is. I'd say Mostly it's just he's not, if he's not willing to do the punishment, then he gets booted from the league, but he's already leaving. It's kind of just like, I think that this year is a bit of a wash for the punishment because you kind of need the last place person to be willing to be able to do that, because I think it's kind of ridiculous to be like, this person didn't manage their team at all, and the person that tried really, really, really hard and did that. And I know it sounds like nepotism, but it's he did try hard and he did not get last place. And I would say that those are the two kind of things. Like, obviously, someone who tries hard and gets last place, yes, you give it to him, but he didn't. So I would say, yeah,
Okay,
that can handle it personally.
that's very fair. I like that. All right, let's go to the next team here. If that's cool with you.
Mhm.
All right. Sorry, I went out. Number 8. It's me.
Mhm.
Gross.
Would you like to speak first on your own team?
Sure. Let's see. Um, I don't know. I had a lot of injuries, and I was definitely trading away good assets to try to get picks for the future this whole first year. So I kind of shot myself in the foot if I wanted a chance, but it was the year of Robbie, so I'm pretty sure there was no chance I would have won anyway. And I did calculate it. If that was meant to be a joke, and if I did make it sixth place into playoffs, I was gonna exit first round either way. So doesn't really matter. I'm feeling pretty happy. Looking down here, every year I've got a very high pick added to my draft order, so I feel like that can snowball into good things year after year for me. Um, Drake May was an awesome pick. I'm probably not going to keep him because I have some other really good players
Oh,
I
yeah.
can keep, but I'm
Interesting.
thankfully I had him in my team that won first in my dynasty. So like this was the year I successfully called Drake May and I had him everywhere, and that was awesome for me.
That is amazing.
It was also, however, one of the lowest years for quarterbacks in a while. Like very few high-level week-winning
Mhm.
performances in general. Um, yeah, I don't know. I made a number of trades that helped this team out. I was It was not good to give away Christian McCaffrey, unfortunately, but I've had so many bad experiences with him where I just like I wanted to get value while I had a chance, and I'm
Mhm.
very flustered, guys. But basically, as soon as Cam Scadaboo went out for the year, I felt really depressed and I stopped caring about myself. It was a really rough time for me, and yeah, I miss him. I really hope I
Mhm.
can keep him next year.
Yeah, that will be if you don't get Cam Scadaboo after trading away. But can you? Well, no, you can't really, because you would want to probably keep
I'm probably keeping Drake London, who was
for sure. He's your
awesome
100%.
whenever he wasn't injured.
Yeah,
I'm gonna boot Marvin Harrison, who I think
on
is
second fiddle to Michael Wilson now.
I just think he's a
Training
cry.
for it.
I think he's a crybaby. Sorry.
Yeah,
And I'm probably gonna keep Chase Brown, Cam Scadaboo, and Omarion Hampton, and just
yeah,
get two really good running backs. But I hope one of
valid.
them's Cam Scadaboo. Yeah, bad year for me. Got lots of injuries. Almost got away with it. What do you think?
I would say you did your best. You tried hard. I would say it was kind of a bit of a sell to get um, Cam and AJ Brown for a first round pick. Well, you did get a first round pick. That was good.
I got a
Was good.
second round pick, and AJ
Second round pick,
Brown was
you can't get
honestly a delight to have.
really. Yeah,
I mean,
right. Him
he
being
was
kind
kind of
of
a throwaway addition. I think he had a
uh-huh.
really nice stretch here.
Yeah, he had a decent stretch for sure. Better than he was at the beginning of the year. He did pop the positivity rabbit in the Eagles locker room, which is not helpful. And reportedly, he had been asking out of Philadelphia since as early as week 3. So that doesn't
Goodness.
help much.
Ha.
But I don't see him being on the Eagles next year. But yeah, I mean, he was definitely a good addition. I would just say for the like what you gave up for him, Christian McCaffrey was still good for the rest of the year. I get that that's like kind of a heart attack player to have. I had him in another league. It's just every week you're like, is he gonna be injured? Is he gonna be healthy this year? It's like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I think Christian McCaffrey was a great player to get someone to playoffs, but not one to win playoffs because he just wasn't as much of a big game kind of player. I mean, he was great, but yeah. Anyway, despite all that, I think you did your best. I think you tried very hard to make it work. I see how we ranked you highly at the beginning of the year, and if things turned right for you, you could have easily been one of the best teams in the league, which is why we rank you so high. These players all had good chances to be great, and they just didn't, and that
Mm-hmm.
was just kind of rough. But otherwise, yeah, it's I would say good job. And I'm going to be very interested to see how this team looks in years to come. I bet it will be good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good too. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to still have that piece. Number 7, Knox Packer backer, Uncle Eric in the flesh.
in the
What do you think
flesh.
about Uncle Eric's team?
Um, eh, what I'll say is he tried. He tried kind of, but he was also not the most active manager. But yeah, he managed his team. You could definitely tell the bias towards the Packers, and I think like you know what Matthew Stafford was
He
like.
was
You
number
were
3
dumping on
quarterback.
Matthew Stafford at the beginning of the year. He was like, what? How did he place as a quarterback?
He was the number 3 quarterback on the
Number
year.
three, fantastic. He threw 46 touchdowns. My favorite for MVP this year, but that's besides the point. Um,
Goodness, that's a lot
he
of touchdowns.
that is a whole freaking lot of touchdowns. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, great either pickup or I think he started the year with him. But yeah, just absolutely fantastic. He just knew this is a great player. Like I don't care if he's not usually thought of as a fantasy quarterback. He was a great fantasy quarterback this year. Um, and like Josh Jacobs should have been good. A lot of these other players should have been good. He had that like if he got into playoffs with that Kyle Pitts performance, bro, that was insane. It was over 40 points as a tight end. He got 3 touchdowns from Kirk Cousins. But yeah, Josh Jacobs just really sad near the end of the year.
Judas
It wasn't
Jacobs.
it wasn't the worst. Yeah, in the other league. Beginning of the year, before everything started, I was like, hey, I will give you Josh Jacobs for Jonathan Taylor.
Hate
And
you.
it seemed like a pretty fair trade at the time. It did not turn into a fair trade at all. It's kind of sad how Jonathan Taylor's year ended, but he definitely got me to the playoffs in that league. Anyway, Josh Jacobs was just kind of mediocre. I think on the Fantasy Footballers podcast, their nickname for him is Fat Thor because sometimes he's really good and then sometimes he takes a little bit of a break. He's not as good
No,
sometimes.
no,
And
no, no. This year he gave it his best. He got injured and refused to be benched.
yeah,
That's what happened.
that's pretty much what happened.
And I decided while he was walking around with a limp, no, I gotta play this guy. And that's on me.
Harold Fannin,
That was
Kenneth
crazy.
Gainwell. That was weird. Bro is like I'm kind of disappointed because I traded him away in Dynasty before the year started, thinking he's kind of okay. I thought David Njoku is the guy. Nope, Harold Fannin is the guy. Great tight end pickup.
Yep.
Um, Kenneth Gainwell had the
Oh
most
my
receiving yards on the
gosh.
Steelers.
I
What the
hate the
heck?
Steelers, dude. I hate them so much.
It's so weird. I don't. They're gross, but
Dude, can I just say something? I'm a
yeah.
Cardinals fan. They just fired Jonathan Gannon. And they're
Mm-hmm.
interviewing Arthur Smith to be the
Bruh.
head coach of the Cardinals. And if Arthur Smith goes to Arizona, I might literally burn my jersey. I
That's valid.
I despise that man. I
He is
cannot believe what he comes up with.
disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Playing Tyler Algier over Bijan Robinson. That's
Yeah.
no. Why are we giving this man more chances
Hmm.
to like
Everyone's
on the fantasy
expecting us to
football
throw to
team?
our wide receiver one. Let's throw to the tight end and Kenny Gainwell.
Bruh.
I'm
What people
salty.
are like, you know what? I just saw them put up 2 field goals on that Texans defense. I want a piece of that offense. I want to be able to do what Arthur Smith just did against the Texans. No, you don't. You don't. Okay,
But you
but
know the Cardinals are so incompetent. The management, they'd be like, "Hey, Arthur Smith, yeah, let's give that guy a try." I will die.
oh gosh, yeah, no. Devonte Adams, good for the most part. I hated him because he stole
He stole
Puka's
from
touchdowns.
Puka.
He did
But you know what
steal.
happened, dude? I know we're gonna get to your team, if I may. It was like what, week 14 or something.
Mhm.
I hear Devonte Adams is out for probably just a few games right before fantasy playoffs. I go and I watch the video, and it's like it almost feels like Devonte Adams was running and God just struck down Devonte Adams only for fantasy playoffs so that Puka Nakua could soar. And I was like, oh no. Because I knew what that meant. If there's no Devonte Adams, Puka will feast.
Puka will feast, and I will win in every league.
There's no one better than Matthew Stafford to feed one wide receiver over and over and over
He
again.
was the Calvin Johnson quarterback.
Dude, it's crazy. Adams was a really good wide receiver this year.
Oh yeah,
Better than I thought. But then
way
yeah,
better.
right as we get into fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was rough. But yeah, great player, great pickup. I would honestly say if I could have just taken like Devonte Adams 1 for 1 for Justin Jefferson, I would have done it. At the very least, Devonte Adams didn't play in his games, so you could replace him with another player. Justin Jefferson just caught like one pass and was a dud on your starting lineup. So that
This is
trade,
true.
in a way, it was a win for his team because Justin Jefferson, he's a fantastic player, but man, if you're having to start Max Brosmer, you're a very, very sad franchise. And
Yeah.
that is just because of how incompetent 9 is. McCarthy, JJ
Mm.
McCarthy. That was sad. They're probably regretting the Sam Darnold trade very badly. Also,
Oh, yeah.
Tucker Craft going out. Oh, that's so
He was
sad.
doing so good.
He was like, bro, is like if Trey McBride and Travis Kelsey had a baby or something. Like, this man
Yeah.
is insane. He
Mm-hmm.
was fantastic, and I'm excited to see him next year. I would honestly say if I were Uncle Eric, I would probably make him one of my keepers, and he probably will because he's a big Packers guy. But like, great player, and just so sad that he was, not able to finish out the season with the Packers. And honestly, if like the Packers had him and Micah Parsons and some of these other guys, then I think they would be Super Bowl, at least a good playoff team. Like they would have easily won that Bears game with like Micah Parsons or Tucker Kraft.
Mm.
If they had one of those guys, they could have been able to just finish the job there. At the very least, they would have been able to make it through more playoffs than did. So it's hard, but I'm excited to see Tucker Kraft back next year. He's just a great, absolute warrior of a player. He's fantastic. But yeah, this team, it was solid. I would say that it was not super actively managed, but I would say that it was still not bad throughout the year. I think it could have been slightly better, but like I think it wouldn't have gotten that. Although I will say it would have progressed through the first round of playoffs, almost certainly with that Kyle Pitts game. But yeah, just anyway, what are your thoughts?
Hmm. I was wondering. Um, I agree. I don't know. He had some good players. He had some not so good ones that I think he just wasn't trying very hard to get rid of. I thought he made some bad pickups, and I think trading for Kamara was a bad choice. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I wonder if he's just a genius, like getting Devonte Adams and giving away Justin Jefferson. Like,
yeah,
yeah, this guy sucks. Take him.
yeah, literally. But hopefully Justin Jefferson is better next year for Isaac. I really hope that works out for him.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Um, anyway,
Number
yeah,
6. Is it okay if I keep going?
yeah. Go ahead.
Nickelodeon. John Jensen. Here we are.
Yeah, you can go first with this one.
There are some interesting nicknames, which I'm enjoying very much right now. 20 years in purgatory. That is the Brees Hall story. SpongeBob the Yellow Album, Gary's song. This is awesome. Okay. I remember him being really heavy on wide receivers in this draft,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what I think. I think there was a lot of underwhelm between Bucky Irving, Nico Collins, and Brees Hall. I think CeeDee
Mhm.
Lamb was probably one of the brightest spots on this team, although he went out for a minute there,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Zay Flowers was underwhelming. I think Pat Mahomes was. Oh, that was a great pickup for him until he
Mhm.
went out and began to fall off. It's like this stretch right here, like 11, 16, 18, 37, 8, 14. Like that killed you because you built so much trust with Pat Mahomes at the beginning. But week
Mhm.
9 on, like that was
Right.
really bad to have him.
Mhm.
Man, yeah, so many wide receivers. Rashi Rice went back to IR. And also just busted a bunch of games here. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like he had lightning in a bottle for a few weeks with a few of these players, but no one was really going to carry him to a good playoff spot. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a weird year for John. I feel bad because I felt like his team was good and had a really good chance of doing a lot of stuff, but like you said, he went very, very heavy wide receiver in the draft, and then that kind of came to bite him because he didn't have great stuff with the running back position.
Mm.
He had I think earlier in the year he made a trade. It was and he told me later that that was like an accident. That was like an accidental press. And just for clarity,
Tell
if you
Robbie.
guys for whatever, what?
Tell
Hmm?
Robbie.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, exactly. If you have a trade that goes wrong, if you someone sends you a stupid trade and you didn't mean to accept it, tell me. I will take the trade back because that is rough. That should not happen. Like you want to be able to do the best you can, and you can't do that if someone is just spending you really stupid offers like Quinshon Judkins and Kenneth Walker for Brees Hall. That's rough. I mean, if like I was shocked when I saw that trade, but I thought John was just really high on Brees Hall. But no, it's just it was accidental. And Kenneth Walker was all right. Quinshon Judkins was all right, but still, maybe his team would have been better with that. And it's like if Brees Hall is your only backup running back in a league where you have to start at the very minimum two running backs on a team that's drafted like 50 wide receivers instead of running backs, with Bucky Irving as the main guy, that's rough.
Mm-hmm.
That's like you have to start Woody Marks out here, which Woody Marks coincidentally wasn't horrible. Like there were
No,
certain times he was
he
pretty
was
good,
not
but
great
he
though.
wasn't great. But yeah, it's just, I mean, of course, he had a good rookie season, but still, it was just like that's not a guy you want to have to rely on. It was like if Woody Marks goes down, you're toast, and he did for some games near the playoffs and things like that. So that's just sad,
Yeah.
honestly, how this year went for John. Nico Collins was just really off and on. CeeDee Lamb injured for a while, and then when he was healthy, it was mostly just kind of average games. None of these big like week winning games. Not to say it was bad, but it was still kind of like I would say George Pickens is easily the more explosive wide receiver on the Cowboys, and you can say that with
Mm.
100% certainty now at this point in his career, which is kind of crazy to think at the age of 26 that he's being that outplayed by George Pickens almost. Like,
Mm.
not to say he's bad, like I said, it's just that he's like, you barely see a game over 20 points in the span. I don't think you do. Maybe 21 points,
Yeah, not
but
many.
like,
No.
yeah, it's just not, not very, like on a team where it's like you need that big explosive player because a lot of your other players are downplaying, then CeeDee Lamb was not the guy that you wanted in those games. It's like he would not win you the week where he was. But yeah, it's just kind of rough there. And I don't know, just a lot of these picks just didn't work out very well. Well, there were sometimes Zay Flowers was good, and sometimes he just dropped 0 points. It's like you couldn't rely on anybody. And the players that you could have relied on were kind of injured, like CeeDee Lamb was injured. And it was just a sad year. Like you said, Patrick Mahomes was great for a while, and then he got injured. And then their backup, Gardner Minshew, got the same exact injury. That was crazy, but still, just like, I don't know. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers could have been great because he was actually playing pretty good for
Well,
the
wait.
Jaguars.
For who this guy is, he became doing pretty dang well at the end.
Yeah, he did for sure.
I mean, I literally dropped him to waivers in a league.
hmm And that's valid. Honestly, I would have too. But yeah, it's just kind of
All right,
a
only a
rough
couple
year
good
for
games.
John, but I think that he'll be better going forward just if he has more luck. I would say he's definitely um somewhere along the lines for like a very sadly injured team. T. Higgins should have been a great pick, right? T. Higgins, I mean, I don't go for him because he's kind of a weirdly inconsistent player, but this time it wasn't even hardly his fault. He played most games. It's just that he didn't have it wasn't him getting injured this time, it was the quarterback. And of course
Hmm.
he was out for a few games, but still it was just like it's just sad, just rough season
It
for
is.
John.
I agree. He was middle of the pack all the way through though. Like he wasn't
Yeah.
like he had enough really good players he drafted. Like I think his draft was honestly really solid. Just a lot of underwhelm, a lot of bad luck. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Waka Flocka's best friend is like my favorite nickname now.
That's great.
Number 5. That was our bottom half. Any thoughts or questions before we continue on, my dear commissioner?
Um, for the most part, great hustle. That's all I can say.
Let's
Just
go.
good.
Good. Y'all are good. All right, La Porta Patti. Oh wait. You know what? No, we haven't done. I'm just let's reflect real quick on how we predicted these
Yeah,
teams to go. Because I put Pro Laser Tiger at third,
yeah.
so that was the most wrong any of us were,
hmm
and the most right was you putting him at
hmm
ninth in the midseason.
hmm
Uh, you
Yeah,
had put him at 10th, Betrayal by the Brother, and I put him at 8th in midseason. But we both had
yeah,
Isaac much higher at the beginning.
yeah. Well, yeah, definitely.
No, good.
He had a better. I would say like it was just like for you. I was saying that at the beginning of the season you had seven. At the season you had eight. It wasn't that big of a change for you, and you kind of predicted that it wasn't going to be that bad. Now that being said, I didn't think you weren't really predicting like, oh, Derrick Henry is going to be gone and Puka is going to be gone and Joe Burrow is going to be injured. It was kind of like those guys were like good, and if they were healthy or on his team the whole year, it would have been a lot better. And so I would say that you have to give that a little bit more credit, but yeah, still just kind of anyway. We talked about his team enough, but yeah, it was kind of interesting with
No,
other teams.
totally. I think one note from me is I think next year I'm gonna put a little more emphasis in my rankings on the manager, which is gonna feel
hmm
probably a little insulting to people who
Yeah.
compared to the top managers, if there's like middle or lower end managers, like
hmm
because you can't just base it on the team that's there at the beginning. You have to think like, well, if a player's failing, are they going to be able to get out of it? Like that is a manager trait. Can they
hmm
exchange someone who's failing for someone who's going to be better and win trades? See, we had me
Yeah,
really high at the beginning.
we did
I really
both of us.
think, to be fair to both of us, I really did get the injury bug this year. I think it could have been
hmm
better. And
Definitely.
you were far less drastic than I was
hmm I
in the
was yeah.
midseason.
You were despairing in midseason with the Cam Scattaboo. Just
Yeah.
all the joy and sunshine in the world left with Cam Scattaboo.
Hmm.
Uh, anyway, this was
You were almost spot on at the beginning of the season.
yeah. I yeah. I don't know. I saw there were a few things here in this team where I was yeah, could see it not going right, and also Jaden Daniels. That's rough. I don't think we talked
Yeah,
about him enough with that.
you got
That was
injured.
sad because he
Yeah,
was fantastic last year, and this year it just got injured and sad.
yeah,
Sad for the Commanders to go from being like really good again, going 12-5 to being back to a bad team just in the next year. It's just like this man is just RG3 part two, which I mean, I hope not because RG3's career absolutely just completely got decimated, but they don't want that to happen again.
Totally.
Anyway, yeah, that one. And then our
And we
last,
were both low on John at the beginning of the season.
yeah, we were. His team did not look good at the beginning of the season, but I do remember saying that it was a dark horse team, and I would have stick to that because it was a solid team, and John is a great manager. But yeah, it's I think this is a good. I don't know. This kind of a good ranking for the most part.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
got
what do
it.
you think?
We got it right at the in the middle, but I don't know. All he had to do was be like, "No, my team's good," and we were like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh, okay, I see.
okay." Anyway, I thought that's kind of an important thing is
Yeah.
how wrong were we or right were we?
Mm-hmm.
But number
Well,
5, Laporta Potty.
I will say I think this was probably my biggest miss at the beginning of the season in
Mm.
prediction wise.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, I don't like these. These are like the running backs were really good looking, and then the wide receiver room to me was gross, and I was kind of right about that, honestly.
You were right. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert at the beginning of the year, you thought after week one, you were like, if man isn't if man anymore. He's back, and then it was kind of like, no, never mind. He's still that guy, at least the same dude as before. Very talented.
Mm-hmm.
David Montgomery was very depressing for you. Saquon Barkley also very depressing after last year. Not to say it was a horrible year, but it was pretty bad, all things considered, from last year when it was the Eagles were great and he was the engine of their offense and they just Kevin Patullo killed them. I
Yeah.
think Saquon is still a fantastic player. It was just kind of whatever. But yeah, that's
Makes you think about motivation. Like last year he was on the he was on the Giants for his whole career. Finally got a big
uh-huh.
name contract. Comes in, he's just like, I'm gonna prove how freaking great I am, and
Mhm.
he wins his first ring this year. Like he's 28, just won his ring. Like I'm
Mhm.
not too surprised, honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not like he doesn't want to try, but like that took a lot to do what he did last year. Hard to repeat.
Yeah, definitely. Hard to repeat that. And then Jonathan Taylor was great at the beginning of the year. Sad at the end of the year. Kind of he petered out there a lot, but he was so good. He
Oh wow, it's
still
worse than I
like
thought.
he yeah, it was not good at the end of the year. It was kind of sad, but he he still set the record for running back touchdowns this year, despite basically not scoring another one through like the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season. I don't know. It was just
Goodness.
kind of crazy how that went with
Get that
Jonathan Taylor.
man Daniel Jones.
He needs Daniel Jones. That was like
Who
such
would
a
have
big.
thought?
Who would have thought Daniel Jones was the difference maker for that team? But he was. He was the difference maker. Mike Evans was sad. Christian McCaffrey, absolute stalwart, fantastic, surprisingly fantastic trade from you. Kind of depressing there, but yeah,
I think it was a pretty fair trade, honestly.
yeah,
McCaffrey wasn't like winning you tons of weeks. He just never once let you down, basically.
yeah, pretty much. That was the story of McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, sad to see Laporta go. Kind of funny when I was like, you have Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor. You have these guys on your team, and you name your team after this guy. But he was good for the most part until he got injured. I mean, he was all right. I guess he wasn't great, but he's a tight end, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I I see it. I see the resemblance. Uh, oh gosh, that's what Hopper did after going to Russia.
Yeah. He became an NFL player.
He became an NFL player. I mean, he was a pretty strong dude. Uh, but yeah, that was kind of a weird year. Michael Pittman, as long as Daniel Jones was healthy, that was great. That was an amazing pick. He traded for that pick. That was great. Yeah, I think this team just deserved what it got. It could have been better through the last end of the year. It could have been like the scariest team in our league by a long shot with McCaffrey, Saquon, and Jonathan Taylor. If all those players were consistent, like McCaffrey, and you actually had more amounts of good Saquon games, and Jonathan Taylor was good through the whole year, that would have been. I mean, it was a very scary team for most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Just with those three, that was terrifying. But yeah,
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. Like, I think he had, he was just so unbalanced in running backs. It was so terrifying. He could start all of them, so that's great. But the thing about non-mobile rushing quarterbacks is that they are very inconsistent. They can have great games and they can have really bad games. And Goff and Herbert gave you both of those. I know there were bad weeks that Jarrett unfortunately had to start some of them. Mike Evans being like your wide receiver one was not a good situation this year because of the injuries. Unfortunately, Bro is not going to hit 1,000 yards this year. Unfortunately,
no.
Stephon Diggs had his moments, but ultimately wasn't reliable.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he just had trouble filling in those gaps, I think, and it's going to be a
Mm-mm.
really rough keeper situation for him.
Oh yeah, if just having to lose any of those guys is sad.
Like,
But yeah, I think
yeah,
I mean you definitely have to be like, okay, I'm gonna make someone else my main keeper and then make Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, and Christian McCaffrey. You have to go for that, I feel like. Because at least you get two of the three great running backs, but like who else
yeah,
who do you keep for sure? Michael Pittman? Is that your best player at this point that you can for sure keep? If you know, that's just I don't know.
I don't know, man. I
This
don't. It's
team
it's a
is
rough, yeah.
yeah, this team is the opposite of John, I think.
Hmm.
Very running back heavy with reliable running backs.
I might just
Probably
keep
will.
Herbert because they
Yeah,
just fired Greg Roman, so maybe they'll let him throw the ball again. And he was
maybe they'll
throwing a lot
draft a
this year.
couple of offensive linemen that actually do
Oh,
something.
oh, mwah, please, chef's kiss.
Yeah,
That's what the doctor ordered.
exactly. Exactly. They need that so bad. That was
Um,
that text. Yeah, it was no, it was the Patriots game, bro. That was so sad. He couldn't
yeah,
do anything.
that sucked. But yeah, they didn't have an offensive line, so I kind of feel bad for Greg Roman.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, this is just what I suspected. So I just want everyone to know, if you don't know Jarrett, Jarrett's a great guy. Jarrett's one of my great friends, and he's my metaphorical son in laser tag. We've been playing together laser tag for a long time. I noticed I'm the only one who's like trading with him, and he is actually pretty active. So people should message him and try to get trades going. I don't know if you tried at all this year, but
I can't think of a time. I was pretty satisfied with my team for the most part, and I think that I don't know. There are certain people that I personally trade well with. Like Isaac is one where I'm like I mean I kind of ripped him off, but still like he's someone that I know how to trade with well.
mm-hmm.
And I haven't figured out the inside track for Jared. You know, like you have that inside track a little bit better.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I noticed that, just like
and we'll
how
figure that out.
yeah, you brothers talk more and you trade more, and you guys have
Yeah,
you can talk with your uncle and talk and trade with him a little more. But like,
it
I
happens.
don't know. I just slid in a Bollock water bottlers. I slid into his DMs and we started a good conversation and we made some trades
Oh yeah,
happen. Like,
he's great.
you just
Good
gotta
manager.
slide into Jarrett's DMs, people, and Jarrett slide into other people's DMs, man. Like, these are
Yeah,
cool guys. I feel like I'm a parent and I got a couple like I'm introducing my toddler to the class and I'm like, go on.
yeah, yeah.
One critique for Jarrett though, didn't spend a single dollar of waiver, and if you're not aware, buddy, that does not carry over into the next season. So spend it up
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, great hustle.
for sure. Number four, Waddle World.
Oh my
Uh,
word.
we both put him as dead
Oh,
last start of the year, and later on we overshot him a
biggest
little
miss.
bit.
Oh my gosh. That's just the craziest. like contrast there. Oh, yeah. Props to you, Luke Bollich or BW or Waddle,
Bollock.
whatever,
I don't know.
you know, Bollock, BW. That's a name we called him in school, but yeah.
Mm.
For context for people who don't know him, he went to Heritage and he was taught by my brother Isaac, and I knew him through yearbook, and I he was a good mentor to me in school, and I am thankful for that. I remember he signed my yearbook with a bit of poetry. Um,
Bit of
I forgot
poetry.
exactly what it was, but it was, yeah, this amazing guy. Definitely one of the very most active players.
Mm-hmm.
I butt heads with him a lot on the chat about like certain football opinions.
Oh, it's so fun.
Um, every single time we were talking about wide receiver grades, and he was like Tyreek Hill. I was like, no, 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 no Tyreek Hill. Anyway, to be like
Shut up
Tyreek
about
Hill,
Tyreek Hill.
he's not, he's like injured and may never come back, but he's still like the eighth best wide receiver in the. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? No, he's not. Anyway, we had a lot of. I just destroyed some of my setup. That's okay. Um, I got
Getting
enraged.
real passionate about Tyreek Hill.
Really, really passionate. He was a great waiver guy, though. This you have to see this guy with the
Uh-huh.
waivers. Wandale Robinson, very sneaky, good wide receiver. If you look at the wide receiver rankings, absolutely insane. Just like I don't know, like he was great on the waivers. He was
Maxim
active in
Dart.
every
Let's
sense of the
go.
word. His team, we both were like, this isn't going to be a good team. This isn't going to be a good year for you. Your team is going to be injured and not good and unreliable. It was Javonte Williams. What the heck? Tyreek Hill. How did that happen? Didn't he have Tyreek Hill?
You got him
Like
back, dude.
he cut him back. Are you gonna make him a?
Zero
He could be a
dollars.
cut candidate.
Could
Bro,
be could be his keeper, dude.
if you if you make this man your keeper,
They might cut
you're a
him.
good manager, but please don't do that to yourself.
He's the wide
I
receiver
swear,
one on the team.
I know you're a Dolphins fan, okay? I get it. It's fun to be a fan of your team. I want Cortland Sutton, but I will admit that Cortland Sutton is not that good. And Tyreek Hill was that good. Okay, he was. He was. He's not anymore. He's injured. He's just a locker room cancer. He's a horrible person, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? Like you talk about wanting to have character on your team. Tyreek Hill is not character. He is not a good locker room presence for your hypothetical fantasy team. Okay.
And how many fantasy points do you get for character in playoffs?
um. Uh.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
many, according to Puka Nakua. Anyway, I won't say anything about that. That was sad. Anyway, yeah, just sad how this went.
Yeah.
What do you have to say? Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Oh man. Oh, why am I here? I don't know. Um. Oh man. Luke, we underestimated you for sure, and I underestimated you. And you know what? I didn't know you, so I have a little grace on myself. This is the wrong team. What am I doing?
That is Ian's team. All
Um.
right.
I mean, I didn't think your team looked very good at the beginning, to be honest, and most turned out pretty great. I almost want to go to the draft. Let me find the draft.
Mm,
I'm curious how the team began because he made a few trades, waiver wires. Teams look so different by the end of the year, but at the beginning it was
well,
like, okay,
maybe.
Neighbors, A-Chan, those are good picks. What Neighbors went out,
Would have
but it
been.
was gonna be good.
Yeah.
Hurts
Achan was
was
great.
fine all year. Kittle went out.
Yeah.
McMillan,
Did you
Worthy.
hear that the Eagles are actually considering? They're saying a lot of the frustration in their like building is about Jalen Hurts, and they're considering drafting a quarterback next year. Like,
I'd get upset at Philly for being impatient, and despite having way more
because Jalen
success
Hurts
recently
was
than
the
most teams. But
Jalen Hurts was the Super Bowl MVP last year. Now they're like, we're gonna bench him. What are you
yeah,
doing?
well, maybe there's something to it being just a very
Maybe.
impatient fan base.
Yeah, that Mika Egbuka though, that
uh,
is one of the players of the time, to be sure.
he started really good, did
Oh
not
yeah.
end very good. But yeah,
Mm-mm. I
um,
don't know. Something just cursed the Buccaneers like halfway through the year.
something
They were
did.
so good to start.
Absolutely.
Sad.
I don't know. There were a few good hits. I think that's the thing. Javonte Williams
Mm.
was an awesome pick for this team, considering where
Absolutely
he got
huge.
him.
Mhm.
Um, Ja'Cory Cross-Merritt seemed like a really good pick at the beginning of the year. He could have
Mhm.
he could have flipped him for quite a bit more than just dumping him at the end of the year.
Tried to
Um,
trade him Jalen Warren, and he didn't want
oh,
him.
that would have been such a good trade for him.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Like, seem just.
Gross, I don't know.
If I'm honest, I still look at it and I
Johnson.
still don't think it's that great. But it was way better
Mhm.
than my team. So what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just play good players instead of big name players.
Mhm.
And then the best
Mhm.
player, of
Yeah.
course, Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, obviously. Piece of crap person. No, sorry. um,
I know, I know.
I.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, let's get off of Tyreek Hill and his legal issues. Number 3, Sam and Bill. We both had him at first and second all year long. He came just a
Mhm.
little short.
Yeah.
I'm curious if he had made it to finals, would he have won?
That is a good question. I don't know because how was I?
He
Yeah,
he
Dijon
would
was great, and
if he
he
beat
would have
you and
beaten.
went to finals, he would have beat Brian for first place.
Uh,
That's see when I look at fantasy finishes, there's a big difference I think between like second and third. Like they're both so good in different ways. Third is often the team that was going to win the championship if they didn't have a down week the week before.
mhm. Yeah, a
So
lot of the teams.
this is unfortunately the fate of Sam and Bill falling uh, falling to you in week 3 and then having a good up week in week uh, or in the finals week.
Mhm.
You mind if I start on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just the just some great picks carrying him through the season, followed by a reasonable supporting cast, and that's what you really want. Like having a great giant team is good, of course, but
Mhm.
having the number one quarterback, having the number one wide receiver, the number one running back, like that makes a big difference. And
Mhm.
Josh Allen was once again number one on the year.
Mhm.
Not as many. He had some really down games this year, but he also had some really big games. Good for
Mhm.
him.
Yeah, very big games. Yeah, that's props to Ian.
Yeah, Bijan. Getting Bijan and Josh Allen, pretty crazy. I may just
Mhm.
got Bijan and then Allen snaked back to him. Very good,
Mhm.
very good. Um, let's see. And Jackson Smith and Jigma was a huge pick in the 4th round.
Oh yeah, fourth
Um,
round. Like think about a player. Let's just meditate on this for a second.
okay.
Isaac drafted Terry McLaurin
Hmm.
over JSN.
No, yeah.
Terry McLaurin.
Let's go down this row here. Okay. Terry McLaurin,
Yeah, round fourth. Terry
James Cook,
McLaurin,
good
George
pick.
Kittle, James Cook, good pick.
Lad
Lad McConkey,
McConkey,
no,
T
no.
Higgins,
T. Higgins, ugh.
Marvin
Oh,
Poopinson,
oh, oh.
then
Yeah, and
Jackson
then
Smith
you
and
have
Jigba.
the man himself.
Dude, he was amazing all year
He
long.
was really good. I still think that Puka should get Offensive Player of the Year, but maybe a tad biased. So he was really good,
Well,
though. I hate to say it.
if it's not Puka, then certainly it's
Mhm.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Definitely,
So that
those are
was
the
great.
the two guys in the conversation. But yeah, he's crazy.
So Ian, like those three were the big kahunas on this team.
Also, Michael Wilson, like,
Then I was gonna get to okay, then we got
okay,
everyone else, and you know what?
uh-huh,
Michael Wilson was like just named on the fantasy footballers the waiver wire pickup of the year. Because once you
hmm,
picked him up, he was just great all the way through.
yep,
Forget the generational talent Marvin Harrison. We
hmm,
got DJ Moore. He was there sometimes.
yes, He was.
Who was his tight end? Mark Andrews most of the year.
Oh yeah,
Parkinson.
no.
Like I don't know. He could have
Hmm.
definitely improved the other cast members, but on the whole, like he had what it took to be the top team any given week.
Uh-huh. He did 100%.
So yeah, what do you think?
Kyron was vaguely disappointing with like Kyron with the Devonte Adams because that was kind of his thing last year. Kyron was a guy that
He was a guy.
yeah, he was a guy and he got a lot of touchdowns, a lot of like 1 yard touchdowns. Then they decided, you know what? Let's stop running the ball on the 1 yard line. Let's throw it to Devonte Adams.
Every play.
And so in a way, that kind of killed him. Like he was still good. Like you look at him, he wasn't bad. Um, I don't know. How did he finish like among running backs? What was his like rank?
I'll see.
Um,
I'll see if it'll give me to me. All of them are showing not available anymore now that the
yeah.
season's over. I guess.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can stats 2025 season running backs. Just fantasy points on the season. Okay, there we go. 4, 5. I'm going 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm losing my place. What the heck? He's down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A-Chan's 5. Where'd A-Chan go? But he's right here. He's number.
Yeah, he
Where'd
was
Cook go? I'm sorry. I'm freaking out here, man.
it's kind of hard to manage sleeper on the computer. It's a little weird.
Yeah, this is weird. Sorry. Can I? Oh, there we go. I just have to use the arrow keys. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, let me back. Let me back.
Let's see.
7, 8, 9. He was running back 9 on the year.
Hmm. Okay, 9. That's not bad. You know, that's still running back one.
Yeah.
Um. Let's see.
Could have
At
certainly been
running back,
worse.
yeah, Bijan was 3, Jameer was 4, James Cook. That's very interesting to look at. Travis Etienne. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy year.
Yep.
With that, I don't know. Like this team is really good, and in a way, I would say it's like either this team um or the Waterworld team, best team in the league. I guess Waddle Bottlers. I don't know what it turned. It changed a couple times, but like I said, this could have easily won if just things had turned right for him.
Yeah.
He would have beat me if he made it to the championship week. Or beat
He would have
he
beat
would have
Brian,
beat
but you would have won
Brian.
no matter what.
Yeah, I would have. But still, it's just kind of crazy how things go, you know?
Totally.
Puka was my savior in the game against Ian, which we'll get to. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I I shouldn't have won that, and I'm props to Ian because he was great, best, most consistent um, team, I would say. But yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Um, I hated this year in so many ways. It's just like the players that were supposed to be good weren't good, and the players that weren't supposed to be good were the wide receiver ones on their team. And
Mhm.
if you thought hey you had opinions, then get out of here.
Get out of here.
Number 2, go Lions. 1, 2, 3,
Oh
4.
man, this
Brian,
team.
Mister
Oh,
Second Place Team. I I ask, please choose a name for your team. You are one of the
please.
best teams in the league, and were one of the best managers in the league, and just had a great year. And you deserve a glorious team name.
Yes, you do. That okay? It's like you go down the list, right? You look at this team.
I'm looking.
Trevor Lawrence,
Mm-hmm.
weirdly amazing MVP candidate near end of year. James Cook won the rushing title, right? Like just look at that. There was a
Brian's been waiting for
56
this
point
for a
game.
while.
What was that? 56 points. James Cook, rushing title. Fantastic through the beginning of the year. Still, like,
And second
really
half.
good through the end of the year, too. He was not a letdown. It wasn't as, like, big through the end of the year, but still, like, wasn't as consistent, but still great. And then,
Look at that
like,
face. He's going out to steal your girl, man. That
he
James.
he is
He's like,
absolutely.
Hey, baby.
Bruh,
Travis Etienne. Freaking.
this
Where
running
was
back
this
talent here.
last year?
What the heck, bro? What is this? What? How do you do that? I don't.
This
I don't know.
year
It's
was
just
stupid.
that's this. That
Mm.
was crazy. Just
Well, he was just
absolutely wild.
he just decided to be bad last year, and then Travis Etienne was good again.
I kind of wonder. Did Devonta Smith finish higher fantasy wise than AJ Brown?
I
Which of the
really don't.
two?
I really don't want to look that
Was
up.
better?
This is not. I'm gonna find a
I
different platform.
um. Yeah. Let's see here. I will look at that for um. Okay. Yes, AJ Brown did finish higher. He finished as the wide receiver. No, that's draft capital. Never mind.
Yeah,
Stats.
AJ Brown had 300 more passing yards, receiving yards than
Yeah,
Devonta Smith.
he was the wide receiver 14. And Devontae Smith was 22. Okay, I was just not sure. There was only like 20-point differential between them, but still, that's enough to make 4 spots of difference. But he was good. Amon-Ra St. Brown was
He was
the wide
great.
receiver 3 again, quietly fantastic.
Ugh.
I would say he was definitely better than last year. Last year I had him and he was vaguely disappointing sometimes, but he was great.
It
Absolutely.
was a down year for wide receivers. I remember you complaining that
Uh,
Justin Jefferson was the wide receiver too. You were like, he didn't do very much, and I'm like, he was the wide receiver too. But last year, just
yeah,
no wide receivers did much.
yeah, yeah. It was like last year. It was just like Jamar Chase, and then end of list.
Yep,
But yeah, I'm gonna say Brown was good. Trey McBride, what the heck?
he
Like
had the
what is that?
year. Oh,
The year
Trey
this man was
McBride.
second in receptions among all pass catchers, not just tight ends. He wasn't, but he had like a absolute all time tight end season to the point where it's like we could consider drafting him in the first round in redraft leagues. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's even a consideration at this point. Like, he was so good.
Yeah,
Absolute monster. As long as you have a quarterback that is not Kyler Murray, then you're good. If it's Jacoby or not Jacoby Krosky Merritt, Jacory Brissett, then you're good.
you mix
Anyway,
those. Jacoby Brissett. Yeah.
yeah, Jacoby Brissett.
Olave had
Yeah,
a
my bad.
breakout. He
Love.
did great.
He was great through the end of the year. Absolute stud. Probably a keeper worthy player, and I don't know if you'll be able to keep him,
Yeah.
unfortunately, because of all the good players you have. But yeah, it's just kind of
I should have played
wild.
him over Josh Jacobs. I should have trusted him. He was good, man.
Yeah.
Chris Olave finally did not get a concussion this year, and he always had it in him.
Ashton Genty, this is a weird rookie season for a player like this. I don't know. He was good, but not as good as people wanted him to be. But
Yeah,
he was
you
still like
never. Yeah.
considering all things considered, like pretty good. Had some random games where he just dropped like 30 points, and a lot of the other times he just gave you nothing. But like, what can a man do with what he has? He
Mm-hmm.
did fantastic, and there's no doubt that he's going to be a great running back in the league for a long time. Just like weird how that went.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think so. And
Brian
then,
Thomas.
like, here's the thing: even though he had a couple busts, like Genty and Thomas were busts, they were like on his flex or on the bench.
Yeah, they were supposed to be fantastic, and instead they were just well. Brian Thomas was just disappointing, pretty much, almost
Mm-hmm.
exclusively. He had a couple of decent games, but like, I don't know.
Oh
I
my gosh, it was so bad.
compared to last year,
Yeah.
oh, that's crazy.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
last year, he was a wide receiver 4. I don't know. That's just kind
Whew.
of sad.
Yeah, same. And then like this bench, like Bo Nix and RJ Harvey on the bench, like that is so nice to have. Jake
Uh-huh.
Ferguson was really good for a while, and he didn't even need him when he fell off because he had Trey McBride. I bet he was
Yeah,
starting both of them at one point.
he was for a very long time. See, here's the thing. Part of what helped me is I think that in the championship week, or at least a week that I played him, he started Rashid Shaheed over one of his guys, and it was just like, what are you
Oh,
doing?
really?
But
Let's check out championship match.
maybe it wasn't the championship match, but still, there was one week where it was weird. Yeah, no, he started Brian Thomas, but I don't know. It was interesting. It was a good year for him. I would say
Hmm.
this team is very promising in its future. But yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be interested who his keepers are.
mm, that will be a very interesting thing.
Let's get to our
Yeah.
final team, man. Number one, team Colts.
Oh,
Colt of the Chosen Child. You put yourself in
I
first place at the start of the year, and you called your shot, and you were right.
I did, but not for the reasons I thought.
um,
uh,
I put you in eighth, and I owe you my last pick of the draft next year.
that's true. I forgot we had that bet.
Oh
Yep,
yeah, I made a big bet. So
made a big bet.
why don't we look at the finals matchup here?
Yeah.
Okay, you
All
won
right.
with
All right.
Jacoby Brissett. Heck yeah. Derrick Henry with a monster 45 points.
I have to say, I almost want Derrick Henry's jersey just because, like, he's so good and so fun, and he won me that, and I'm so happy about that.
You're
Anyway,
always gonna love that man.
I will always love that man. He's one of the G's. Um,
Jameer Gibbs let you down, but
he did. He
he
very
was
much
good
let me
at different
down. Yeah.
parts of the year. You know what? You take it away, man. I'm sorry.
No, you can go first on this one. I think I went first last time, so
Well, it is your team.
I it is my team. Uh, okay. Here's what I'll say. So quarterback, very disappointing for most of the year. It was a very weird position for me to fill. Derrick Henry and Jameer Gibbs were the dynamic duo. One week you would have a really good game from Jameer Gibbs. Like there was one week he dropped like 50 points. And the thing, Jameer Gibbs is the most up and down player ever. By all means, he should have lost me weeks. But it was just that I have a weird team where it's like I have three players that can just put up 40-point games. And so a lot of the times what happens with me is that one week, one like every week, then I'll get like one of them that gives me this absolutely crazy game, and then the others just don't do anything. Like sometimes, most days that's Jameer Gibbs. Usually, Derrick Henry and Puka have a safer floor for me. Derrick Henry was consistent for most of the year and just had a really good floor, and then he just got that absolute winning game for me. I did here. What I will say, championship week, I called my shot and I was wrong, but I still won with Kyle Williams. I thought Kyle Williams was going to be good if I started either of Parker Washington or there was another guy on my bench that I didn't start that were much better. But I
Hmm.
thought he could have a big game with the Patriots in the last week so that they could try to get that number one seed. I would say Aaron Jones, amazing. For me, he was like just in the sense like he wasn't like so
Dude, what?
unbelievable, but it
He's
was just that someone
31.
dropped him. He's 31. Someone dropped him, and I called my shot that he was gonna be good, that he was gonna like be at least just solid, like a guy that I could consistently start, and he was. He was like generally 10 points or a little bit less than that sometimes, but that's really all I needed with the kind of ceiling that I had in other players. And what I'm going to say is everybody should be very scared of my team because I did not set my team up to win this year. It was a pleasant surprise that I won, but my goal was to get keepers that would make me an absolute threat in years to come. And I did that. I have Jameer Gibbs, I have Derrick Henry, and I think my guy is 100%. I'm keeping Puka. Then Jameer Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and Travion are going to be my three like lottery guys. I hope that Travion is really good next year. He clearly has the potential to be Jameer Gibbs in the league. It just depends on kind of how they treat Ramondre Stevenson going forward, and it's been very off and on. But he's so many just random weeks where he just absolutely won me the week. Like he was so good randomly, and I am very happy with that. And I think that he will be great in the league going forward. Jalen Warren randomly had a 30-point game out of absolutely nowhere in playoffs, and that was just like instrumental for me. Like it just randomly, I had guys that just in no, was it? playoff. Yeah, it was week 16.
Yeah, it was.
Um, Divisional whatever round. That was just crazy to me. I don't know. It's kind of shocking how everything went with this team, and every week I could at least depend on like one player. Not earlier in the season, but in the middle of the season it was rough. But this team, I'm just really happy with it. I'm really happy how it turned out, and despite BW being the chosen child's daddy for a little bit, he may have won the battle, but I won the war. So I don't care. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with that. The chosen child won me the week against Ian, who I should have lost to. Puka was insane, absolutely great. Love that guy, so good. Also, maybe a little stupid, but he does some things here or there. But still, one of my favorite players. Probably he is my favorite player. Today I'm rocking the Nick Benito jersey for the Broncos, but um, got to root for my team here. But still, just like he was great, and I will ever be happy with that production. Honestly, if you count week 18, then he was the wide receiver one in fantasy. If you don't, then he was behind JSN by like 2 fantasy points. But he was also injured. So, in my opinion, he does deserve Offensive Player of the Year. He was great. I am very happy with my team. That's what I have to say. Baker, but I will say one more thing. Two more things, actually. Three more. No. Baker, disappointing. Bleh. I don't know what happened because he was pretty solid through the beginning of the year and then he just fell off. I'm sad for him because he's a great guy and a great player to have on my team. A good fictional locker room presence, but just, I don't know, kind of sad how it ended with him. But he was good for a couple weeks, at least. I thought I had the MVP on my team, and I was wrong. Very, very wrong about that. But still, that happened. And then the two other guys I would like to talk about, Ricky Pearsall and Travis Kelce. Ricky Pearsall, injured. I was like so excited about that pick. I thought this guy's going to be great for me. He was just so injured for most of the year, and it wasn't like he was on IR. It was every single week they were like, he might play, nope. He might play, nope. He might play, and I don't know. It was just kind of crazy how that went. And then he came back for me, and some absolute duds. Like it's funny. One of my friends who's a huge Niners fan, likes to call him 50 Cent because he got shot. I don't know exactly what is going on there, but he did. If you see a scoring sheet in week 11, he got me 50 0.5 points, 50 cents. So he was worth. That's about how much he was worth to me this year. He did have some random games that were solid. It's weird because through like the first couple weeks in the season, he was like third in receptions, which is a crazy stat to think about. Now that we know what happened, but just yeah, kind of maybe he's got a good future ahead of him as long as he's not continuing with that injury prone aspect. But yeah. Anyway, Travis Kelce, weirdly good. Tight end 3 on the year, I think. But he was just pretty consistent for me, and that's really all I needed from him. He could have been better at the end of the year, but he wasn't. It's kind of sad, but respect to Travis Kelce, and I think he probably will be retiring this year, but you never know. He could play another year. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I have to say about my team. I went on a while there.
Oh, you're good. Also, I just found out we can go to the bottom here and find their positional rank in a year. So yeah, number 3 on a year. Well, I think you said it best, Robbie. If I were to add anything, I would mention that, I would summarize this year as one that really shows your prowess as a manager. You had the most waiver wire transactions. You had, we're going to look at these trades real quick. We're going to look at these trades because this was defining for you. And then I want to look at the beginning of the year for you. So we got, looks like 11 trades or so. So this trade, you get a future pick in Puka. In this one, you get Derrick Henry. In this stupid one, you get Travion Henderson, which could have been a better trade for me had Trey Benson not instantly gotten injured
The second I made that trade, it
The
was like
second you
God
made the
himself.
trade. Oh my gosh. And then getting Jalen Warren for DK Metcalf, I think, was also a win for you. So
100%.
on the
Yeah.
whole, I'm sorry, Isaac. At Isaac's expense and some of my expense, you just plucked a bunch of really great players off of our teams.
Hmm.
Who were
Mostly
your
Isaac.
good? Who were your waiver wire guys? You got.
I tried to get Jake Browning. Oh, that's funny. See,
You got
I would.
Jacoby Brissett right off waivers. That was actually a
That
really
was
good pickup.
a good pickup. Yeah, I started him for a number of weeks. Um,
And who were your
Hunter
big dumps
Henry was a
here?
good pickup.
Quentin
See,
Johnston.
you mentioned how I made the most waiver wire transactions,
Mm-hmm.
but there was one week where I was like, I'm in trouble. This one player is injured, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I think I spent roughly like 70 waiver wire bucks, and then I never had another waiver dollar the rest of the year. And that was like week 4 or something like that.
It
I
looks
was like,
like.
it's kind of devastating. Um,
I'm not sure if that's
I did
this
not
league.
make that many.
Because it says you just slowly whittled yourself down. That might have been in the Bible Boys League.
Probably.
But yeah, you made a bunch of purchases over the year until you had basically nothing.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, you were the most active manager. You were the most persistent and cunning trader. And if we are to go look at the draft results again, I thought your team was going to just be bad.
Hmm.
And let's see how right I would have been.
You would have been
Because
pretty right.
if you had kept Brian Thomas, if you had kept Alvin Kamara and DK
Bad.
Metcalf and
Bad.
Baker Mayfield, Ricky Peterson got injured, but look straight up, look at your whole
Josh Downs
team.
didn't do anything.
Like everyone on your team
Hmm.
down here, like they kind of sucked. Chase Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs would have been like,
Hmm.
and Devontae Adams would have been your only like really successful year-long picks. Travis Kelce
Well,
too.
Travis Kelce was successful for sure,
I
but
will not
I
acknowledge
think
Jalen
that
Warren's
yeah,
success.
that was
I hate him.
Jalen Warren was successful. Definitely a successful pick. But
Okay, go ahead.
the thing
Say
with
it.
Chase Brown is though, like he wouldn't have got me anywhere. Chase Brown, yeah, Jalen Warren was great. Anyway, Chase Brown, he was great through the end of the year when they got Joe Burrow back and partially with Joe Flacco, but like he was bad for the beginning of the year, and he would have kind of killed me if I had persisted with him. I think, even though he was good, he made things happen. But it's like if I did not trade him for Derrick Henry, no, I would not have gotten anywhere. So still, like even with that one, that was almost a failed pick, despite him being good at the end of the year. Um, but yeah, just like you do look at the draft, and really the only genuinely, like you said, successful picks: Jahmyr Gibbs, Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce. Kind of end of list there. You know,
Yep.
it would have been rough, and that was my thing. So
So good job, man. You earned it,
thanks.
coming from nothing.
Mm.
All right. We have some awards to give out before we wrap this thing up. I guess before I move on, any
Mm.
final thoughts on the rankings?
It was good. I didn't call my shot that my team would win at the end in the midseason, but it was good. Anyway, I've talked about my team a lot, so
It's worth
enough
talking
about
about. You earned it. You did an awesome
that.
job. Very well done, Robbie.
Mhm.
All right, let's.
Thank you.
Oh, so here's the thing. I didn't actually have time to put together this part, so I'm not even going to put in slides. Sorry, everyone. We have some awards to give out, and next year I'll
Mhm.
do better with this. But
Awesome.
we have some stat awards to give and some opinion awards that we're going to do every year.
Mhm.
And these awards we will allow to be tracked with each team throughout the years, so you can collect them and have your team have history. Um, so this year, first place goes to Cult of the Chosen Child, Robbie. Second place go Lions for Brian, and Sam and Bill gets third place for Ian. You will all
Yeah.
have trophy icons attached to your team forever. They will always have this in like their team hall of fame, right?
Hmm.
We have 6 more awards. The first award is the Waiver Warrior Award. This will go to the player who gives the most waiver wire pickups, meaning you have to spend money to get these players. And that will go to Cult of the Chosen Child, Robbie.
Yay.
22 waiver pickups for Robbie this year.
I worked on it. I did a lot of that, but I don't think I actually made that many really good ones. Like if I made a lot of waiver pickups, but I would say the ratio of good waiver pickups to bad waiver pickups, bad. Especially on how much I spent on like a player like Jackson Dart. I think I gave like 19 waiver wire bucks to him, and then I dropped him pretty quickly, even though he was good in the period that I had him. Just yeah, I don't know. I didn't need him then, and anyway,
Doesn't
just
matter how
that's an
successful
example.
they
But
were. It just means you were the most active player, basically,
yeah,
or at least made the most transactions by waiver day.
mm-hmm. By waiver day, yes.
Okay. Second award goes to the Trademeister. This will be our player with the most trades made throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, with 8 trades, is Isaac Gimli's Giblets. You
Yep.
are our year's Trademeister.
Very good.
No shade to Isaac. I think we can beat that. I think that will get toppled as this
Definitely.
league gets better and better.
Mm-hmm.
We're still figuring things out. The Stacked Team. This award goes to the player with the most points for scored on the year. You might call this, as Robbie put it at the beginning, like the actual best team. The team that was actually over 18 weeks or 17 weeks scoring the most. Or no, I think it just goes through regular season, actually. It stops after week 14.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this goes to Bollock Luke Waddleworld with 1,761 points.
Absolutely unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I didn't think your team looked that good, but it was absolutely the best team on the year.
Definitely.
The Tattered
Very
Team
good.
Award, the team with the most injuries, or the most injury prone, or the most impactful injuries. Like maybe you have a team where they only had a couple players get injured, but they were like the big important players, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
this year I get the Tattered Team Award for losing my top 5 players.
Yeah. Definitely. Do you have any words to say about your tattered team or no?
The Swindler Award will go to the player who made the best trades that turned out in their favor every year. And the Swindler Award goes to Cult of the Chosen Child, Robbie's team. Robbie's walking away with 3 awards this year.
Yes.
And finally, go ahead. Any words you want to say about your team or about your award?
I'm good. I've said so many words about my team. I have said enough.
I've said so many
point.
words about how I swindled everybody.
I did.
And finally, the Best Friend Award is going to go towards the player who was the most fun, in our opinion, to play with this year. Regardless of where they placed, we just loved having them in the league, and they were an absolute pleasure to have around. We kind of had 2 in the running here. We're going to give it to Isaac Gimli's Giblets. Thank you, Isaac, for being such a fun presence in our league, and we're excited to have you next year. We were definitely considering giving it to Luke Bollock as well, who was very fun to trade with, argue with, and have conversations with in the main chat.
Yeah, definitely. Very active on all fronts. Very good trader. Talk to everyone. I think Isaac, I would give him this award because he just
Nepotism.
like his team was pretty bad pretty quick and he stuck with it. And it's pretty easy to be like, my team is bad. I'm not going to pay any attention to this league. But no, he was active. He was there. And he was excited about it. He was great with that. And that's why I would give him that. But like also what I will say for Luke Bollock, is that he like we have our like I don't know what you would say, nuclear fantasy football group here. We have like me, Luke, Brian, Isaac, Am I missing Ian? Um, and John, and then that's like kind of like those are the people we carried over from the other league, the Bible study league. I think, am I missing anybody? Um, that we kind of had in our original whatever, but yeah,
Maybe
I
not.
think. But anyway, with that, we had those people. So then it was from that point on, it was we have to find people that are like good recruits to the league. And I would say, and not any knock on anybody else like Jared or anybody else. Okay, they were all most of them great. I would say that Luke was easily like the best addition to the league in that sense of like the person that we wasn't in the original whatever. He was just he's always active, always talking on the chat, making different comments about um, just football in general about the league. He was generally the first one to respond if you ever made a comment on there. He made different questions and all that stuff. He was just an amazing pleasure to have as well. I personally give the reward to Isaac just on the level of like he was so bad, but he was so active still, which is such a hard thing to do. But in any other, it's kind of like the idea of like, oh, we have, you have Matthew Stafford and Drake May for MVP. Both absolutely deserve the reward, but it's hard to give it to one. I would say that's the way with this reward, even though it's maybe not quite the same scale as that analogy. But yeah, very very good from both of you. But yeah,
Yeah, would completely agree. Um, Jarrett, take it personally, even though he said no shade to Jarrett. Oh, Jarrett's gonna take some shade. Get in the group chat, bro. Make some trades, bro. Get on my level, bro. Come on. He's very competitive. That should work. Some
Okay,
reverse psychology there.
definitely.
Yeah, pleasure to play with both of you. It's good. Good time.
Absolutely.
And I think that's just a good thing to say in general and remind people of. Like, activity is what makes a league fun.
Mm,
I I've had leagues where I win them, but like nobody paid attention all year long. No one made a single comment, and I just stopped caring. I just like
mhm,
who cares about a league like that? There's no life in it. The more people comment in the chat about the playoffs coming up and the Super
mhm.
Bowl and the transactions and even just talking about, hey guys, I got a new puppy. Like I don't know, talk to
Yeah.
us. Let's be
Uh-huh.
friends.
Yeah, 100%. This can be hopefully, I mean, on the level of like football, we just have a group of people that really like it. We're all football nerds.
Hmm.
And on another level, hopefully, as the league goes on, we all get to know each other better. These can be like long-term connections. Like one thing I would like to see, and I know that this is hard for some people like John and BW in college, but like if we could actually have like a draft party with the majority of the league there, that would be
Yeah.
amazing. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. This last time, and I know like Luke, you couldn't be there for good reasons, but you were at least you even joined on a video call. Like if you can't be there physically, joining on a video call is an option. Like we want to see this group of people also just be like, like a group of friends on top of being just fantasy football. So if you like there are plenty of people that I don't really know very well in our league. And I would say for most of you, you probably don't know a lot less than I do. So like please, please, please come. It would be amazing if you guys could do that. If and of course if you're, in college or whatever, I get that. But like you can always video call or something like that. It's an option. And I would love to see more of you. But yeah, there
Uh,
is that.
Robbie, I challenge you. I think you should set up our draft party like 3 to 6 months in advance. And
Mhm.
we need to grab people by the shirt collar and say, block off the schedule. You'll be there.
Yes, be there. Yeah, we gotta I will look into that for sure. Definitely. We also need to think about as far as the future goes with the main aspect of what this league is. It's a keeper league, right?
Hmm.
And so part of that is I know there are certain days, like certain specific days. I'm not exactly sure when, but like I think it's like before the NFL draft or something like that. You have to have your keepers set in stone. And again, like just a very, very quick reminder how the keepers work is you get 3 keepers. There's one guy that you get to keep for sure. You know, this is the guy that I'm carrying into next year. And then the other 3 keepers, they cannot be the same position as that one player. And you put those other 3 keepers into a lottery. Every year, we're going to do something different. I would say this year, the easy thing to do is just a basic little, like, look up, like, wheel of names or something on your computer. And you got to have integrity with this, but you put the 3 players on there, spin it once, remove the first name, that's your first keeper. Spin it twice, you get your other keeper. Then that last guy you have to not keep as a keeper. What do you have to say?
I thought we were gonna do a fourth mini podcast where we actually do that live in front of everybody.
That yes. Sorry, I'm losing it a little bit, but yes, that's 100%. We will do that. That's a good idea.
So like
Fourth mini.
maybe between now and the next probably a couple months, I think it is. Everyone, you need to pick one keeper. That'll be your keeper, and then pick
Yes.
3 lottery keepers, and those
Mhm.
3 will go into the lottery. You will get 2 of them. One will be thrown back into the draft pool.
Yes. That is the way it will go. But yeah,
This is the way.
this is the way. But yeah, so um there that is there anything else I'm forgetting?
Make sure, Robbie, that you wear a crown and
Oh,
buy a trophy and a ring and a robe when you come on for that live stream. And bring
gotcha.
that to the draft next year as well. I think the more
I
gloating you can do, genuinely, the more fun it will be. This
mm,
is a big
okay,
deal.
gotcha. I will look into that for sure. All right.
Excellent.
That I'll do as much gloating as possible, even though I don't like to gloat. I'm actually a quite humble person. So
Did you see on the
I,
fantasy footballers Mike winning 2
mm,
championships?
yes,
Yeah, just
he
follow
he
after
did
Mike,
win.
dude.
I'll follow in his footsteps, winning 2 championships myself. I'm quite good at this game. I'm better than the rest of you. I am the most active manager in the league, and you should all take that as a challenge to lose your soul like I have and devote all your time to looking at your phone every 3 seconds to see player updates and making really random comments on the sleeper post and using it like social media because you don't have any other forms of social media. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. I don't recommend it. That was not a good idea on my part. But yes, um, just be active, guys. Come on, it's not that hard. Lose your soul like me. Devote all your time.
Yeah.
Destroy every relationship in your life so that you can be good at fantasy football like me.
Yeah.
It's worth it. I promise I'm not depressed and dying on the inside right now. Um but yeah.
If you were, you're
Uh,
not anymore because you're the champ.
yeah,
You're the
definitely
you're
worth
the
it.
champ, dude. The year of Robbie.
Double champ.
Double champ.
Oh. Yeah, I have to. I will say something here. So last little tidbit. This is unapplicable to our exact league, but in the other league, I played at first Luke's wife Heidi in the first round of playoffs, and beat her by I believe point 33 points, which was absolutely insane. And then I infuriated Luke with that. And then in the next round of playoffs, I destroyed him with Puka because Puka had that big game. So
Mm.
he made me a reward. And unfortunately, I put this reward up very high and lofty, and my cat knocked it off my
Oh
dresser. So it
no.
was destroyed, kind of. But like I still have the little pieces. I have the
You got the
lovers
base.
for the base, and then the ball, and then the rings. Maybe I'll try to
You
put
know
them back
what?
together.
Super glue,
Um,
man. You can do it.
yes, I can do it 100% when I get the time to. But yes,
It's such a cat thing to do.
I will cherish these forever, and try if I whenever I fix it, whenever I get around to doing that, I will make sure that my cat does not murder again. But Luke put his heart and soul into giving me this reward, so I wanted to make that comment there. That was the other league, depression, and I also beat Ian in that league in the championship. Which, again, sorry, Ian, I really wanted you to win one. But there's always next year. You did really good this year in both leagues, so.
I think that's what makes winning so special. Um, for most of us, you have to fight for a long time before it
Mhm.
ever comes to you, and when it comes to you, it takes that luck, and
Mhm.
it's that evasive, so it actually feels so otherworldly to finally win it.
Oh yeah.
But you can't just get it's not handed to you. It's not a democracy. We're like, okay,
Yeah.
it's Isaac's turn to win this year, and then it will be
Yeah.
John's turn to win this. You know,
Yeah. It is. It is what it is. It
it's
happens.
not fair for sure.
Not fair. Not fair. Not fair.
But all right, we should wrap this up.
All right. Yeah. Gotta watch that Broncos game.
Yep.
I hear my family watching it in the other room. I'm like, what's happening?
All right, go watch it and give us an outro, Kamish.
All right. Uh, I respect you all. I fear you all. I hope you fear me after this year. I have earned your respect as commissioner, and I will see you at the keeper time whenever that comes. Goodbye.
Bye.